It took me a year to completely stop spending my time on the bad habits and start living in a dopamine detox. And that has allowed me to take so much action with my own life instead of being stuck in a situation that I hated. And in this video, I'm going to lay out a step by step of what I went through so that you can implement it in your own life. Step number 1, I hated my life. I've always had the frustration that even though as the years passed by, I'd never really learned the skills that I wanted to learn. I never really learned the things I wanted to learn, the new language, the coding, the football, everything. I didn't progress. And that frustration was always there in the back of the mind. But the thing which really put the fuel on the fire was this. In my classroom, in the environment, in my school, I just got disrespected a lot. I got insulted a lot. My friendships felt one-sided. Like I cared about the people, but they didn't really give a damn about me. I felt scared to stand up for myself. I felt scared to assert myself, to tell no, to tell this is what I want, this is what I deserve. And that just ate me up on the inside. And for you, what is that? Why do you want, this is the $1 million question, why do you want to quit your addictions in the first place? It's going to be quite a bit of a journey. So you better have your reasons clear. What is that pain of not taking action? What is that moments of insult, of core deprivation? What is that moments of I need this at all costs? What is that moments of screw this, screw them? I'm going to show them, I'm going to prove them wrong. What's going to fire you up to push? I just had it in my life. For you, I can just give some tips for you. For you, like write it down, tell your friends, tell your family that you want to stop your bad habits, that why you want to stop your bad habits. If it's not a private thing, which it will probably be, still tell it to them, write it down, verbalize it, make it something concrete, make it something, put it into the real world. Because now you have consequences. Now you have told people, now you have written it down. You can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't tell yourself, I just don't even want to do it in the first place. Now that it's real. Step number 2, I got brainwashed. And this represents the kind of leader or the guru with the carrot and the stick. And this little stick man here represents me. I got brainwashed by people like Hamza and David Goggins, who made it cool, who made delayed gratification cool. You made it cool to take responsibility of your life in order to take action and go do something about it. To quit your addictions, to be productive so that you can, the carrot, I can live this attractive life that I wanted to live. And the stick, which is, I can stop feeling shit with my own life. I can start working on this detriments in my own life. With the things, with the scarcity that I felt with myself, I can start working on it now. And how you can implement it in your own life is that start following people who just poke up the things inside of you, who put this drive and fire and hunger inside of you. People like Hamza, David Goggins, Alex Hormozi, Jordan Peterson, who ignite that hunger and fire and this drive inside of you, this drive for more, and this drive to get your desire and get these goals, this inspiration. Get brainwashed by people who do that. They are going to change your beliefs, your values, the way you see the world, and that's going to make this journey a whole lot more possible. Book recommendation, read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Step number 3, I experienced the benefits for myself. This is interesting because I took action, right? Watching all of these people getting brainwashed, getting driven, I took action. And you know how I did it? I used my environment. I used my environment as in the blockers. I told my family that I'm going to do a dopamine detox, and I did the dopamine detox. I wrote down the protocol. If your mind isn't good enough to prevent you from going to the bad habits, which it is because you're watching this video, use external factors, at least in the initial point. Get that win. See it in your own life. See the benefits of delayed gratification in your own life. I saw myself just number one, enjoying work a lot more. Number two, being able to focus. And number three, feeling a lot better, feeling a lot more peaceful, feeling a lot less agitated in my own mind because I've cut out the stimulation. And I felt more proud. I felt more competent. And that initial win is what drove me to step number 4, which is the relentless struggle and training that it requires to do this. Sure, the environment is good and it can help you get the win, and it's an amazing tool. But what about when it's right in front of you? What about when the junk food, the pizza, the stimulating food is in front of you? What about when like random ads pop up? What about when you have the stimulating content, the television, the Netflix, the video games in front of you? Will you still have the discipline to tell no? And that's what you want to train. Because don't see temptations as a bad thing. Don't see these triggers as a bad thing. Although the environment can trigger you, you still want to be this regimented, disciplined person despite that, despite the triggers. Even when it's in front of you, you still want to have the ability to say no. Which means, like, let me take this example. If you want to quit smoking, I can throw away my pack of cigarettes, my junk food, my everything, and throw it away, and I will get my initial win. I experienced it. But the next step to truly regiment this was to bring back the pack of cigarettes, which is automatically going to happen in your own life with whatever bad habits, and keep it in my pocket. And keep it in my pocket all day and still train myself to not take it. Now I'm not disciplined because I don't have the pack of cigarettes. It's in my pocket. The cigarettes are in my pocket, but still I won't smoke it. That's the ideal aspiration, right? Step 3, use your environment. Step 4, even when the environment doesn't play according to you, still do it anyways. And this is where I started training this discipline, not just in not doing the bad habits, but even more importantly, I started obsessing over my work. I started obsessing over the good habits, the learning, the skills, the exercise, the meditation, the journaling, the reading, trying to practice my social skills, making YouTube videos. I started obsessing over the work. And what work should you obsess over? Why did you start this? What was the pain? What is the pain that caused you to improve in the first place? Start working on that. Start obsessing on that. I kept a habit tracker of the good habits and one of my bad habits so that I can just track it. I can see it. I kept a routine for myself from the time that I woke up to the time that I slept, the ideal routine, so that I can start implementing it, so that I had stuff to do. It isn't just me sitting down and trying to be like, no bad habit. No. I focused on work. I focused on effort. And it was a struggle. I'm not telling this just happened immediately. It was a messy, dirty struggle for like 8 months. I mean, it's always a struggle. But more or less 8 months. And when I kept training myself, I got to step number 5, which is I got good and it became effortless. Because in the previous step, right, the step number 4, what I was doing was like I was training myself, I was driven up, I was taking action. But then what happened was that I started accumulating wins. I started having all of these moments where these intense temptations took over me, but I still pushed through. I still didn't fall to the temptations. I had trained it up to that level. I started getting wins consistently. And then I reached a moment where it's like, I can take it. I've mastered my mind. I've mastered these temptations. I said it to myself. I was literally hyping myself up as those wins happened. Of course, it's going to be an up and down journey. It's like, this is 8 months. I'm not telling you. It's like the training arc is like 1% in the movies. But in real life, it's basically 99%. And the end step number 5 just is the 1% that happens in the end. But when that happened, when it became a part of my identity, a part of who I am, it's like I'm not, all of these stimulating, all of these bad habits is just not who I am anymore. Because I've seen it with my own life. I've hyped myself up to it. When that happened, it slowly became automated. It slowly became effortless. it slowly became, and when change becomes effortless, then you know that that change is permanent. And this is what you hopefully do over the next quite a bit of months. And the reason that I did all of this in the first place was that dissatisfaction. Was that dissatisfaction of who I am going to be as a person. That dissatisfaction of my life, of my social situation. But what I realized after all of these journeys, even past step 5, in like step 10, step 15, was that it wasn't an external thing. It wasn't me needing to be popular. Being popular, being charismatic, having all of these things, it's not going to help me feel better. It's going to be a journey of expression rather than trying to impress. And this journey of expression, this journey of facing my fears, of expressing, of setting my boundaries and changing and transforming myself on a core level, it started with the realization that ended up making me feel more popular by having less friends. So if you have some similar dissatisfaction that has been running you throughout this journey of self-improvement, you just need to click on this video and I'll talk about it there. My name is Yukash Ravan, and don't forget, I'm watching you from afar and I'm rooting for you. Take action.